Back in London, Luang Por gave a number of evening talks, one of which he began with a now familiar reminder that doubts and uncertainties regarding the Dhamma could not be removed by study alone. The Dhamma lies beyond language. Study, being reliant on language, could only provide a superficial understanding of it. Only through practice could the wisdom necessary to penetrate the Dhamma be cultivated. He had been asked a number of times about the difference between Samatha and Vipassanā. He explained that on a theoretical level they could be distinguished, but from the point of view of Dhamma practice, they were related qualities of the mind that emerged as the mind matured. An unripe fruit is a fruit. As it ripens, it's still the same fruit. And when it's fully ripened, it remains that same fruit. Essentially, he explained, you didn't practice Samatha or Vipassanā, you practiced Dhamma. By doing so, the truth of things could be known directly, independent of names. It was a natural process. When you keep your precepts, your mind is clean. When it's clean, it's at ease. When it's at ease, it's at peace. And when it's at peace, wisdom arises. He spoke about the challenge in finding the middle way, or as he liked to call it, just rightness, podi, or correctness. How was it possible to know when you had achieved that optimal, just right or correct approach, most effective for realizing the goal, when you didn't know what that goal was? He said that it was necessary to have the incorrect to measure it against. The meditator proceeded by being careful not to attach to pleasure and pain. Having recognized and let go of the incorrect, correctness would arise naturally. It's like a person with a pair of scales. If it's weighed down at this side, the buyer doesn't like it. If it's weighed down at that side, then the seller doesn't like it. Only when the scales are evenly balanced and horizontal is everyone satisfied. When you're practicing sitting meditation, you know that if you're not peaceful, if it's not just right, the mind must be attached to a mental state of one kind or another. Constant mindfulness was needed to observe the state of mind. The mistake was in grasping on to what the mind found pleasant and rejecting what was perceived to be unpleasant. Right view could not arise, and the mind would fabricate the world it lived in as one of likes to be pursued and dislikes to be avoided. This is samudaya, the cause of suffering, because we can't live experiencing only mental pleasure or only mental pain. For the duration of our lives, the two are mixed together, and because that's so, it's essential that we understand the nature of mental pleasure and pain as they really are. If we don't understand their true nature, then we will just continue holding on to wrong views. The Buddha recognized that these two mental states are our constant enemies. As long as we don't fully understand them, we will never be liberated from suffering. For this reason, we must develop the Buddha's right practice, samma patipada. We need sila, taking care of our actions and speech, so that they are in good order, without creating unpleasant consequences for self or others. Samadhi, firm stability of attention, and paññā, a thorough understanding of the mass of conditioned phenomena. Luang Por emphasized that being mindful did not refer simply to dwelling in the present moment. The Buddhist practice of sati was distinguished by its moral and ethical dimension. Some meditation groups hold the view that it's not necessary to practice sila or samadhi, that mindfulness in all postures is enough. That's good in a way, but it's not the Buddha's way. A cat has mindfulness. Goats and sheep have mindfulness, but it's wrong mindfulness, not samma sati, right mindfulness. On the Buddhist path, you can't take that as a working principle. Buddhism teaches that being mindful and aware means being aware of right and wrong. Having become aware of the right and the wrong, then practice to abandon whatever is wrong and cultivate whatever is good.